Hi, I'm Ron White with 3DP. I appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you today talking about our new NetCare Plus product. NetCare Plus is a services offering we're bringing, and it's relatively new to us, but it's something that goes above and beyond the standard services offering. There's really a couple different levels of NetCare Plus, and I'll talk to you just briefly about each one of them. The first one is our remote monitoring offering. Well over 20 years of deploying, and some of those things are things that we should be watching for, trends that we should be watching for that show us that the network's going to have challenges. And just by paying attention to those few trends, we're able to make some significant improvements on the uptime of your network. So NetCare Plus allows us to do a little bit more, be a little bit more active in monitoring and supporting it in keeping that network running. The second level is what we're calling Onsite Audits. We're doing that for some customers now, but the Onsite Audits idea of NetCare Plus is to do it more frequently. Really what we learn is that in mining particularly, because the terrain changes and the RF environment changes, you kind of got to redesign, redeploy your network, in some cases as frequently as every 6 months. If you don't, the RF domain has changed so much that you're going to have some problems that are going to start to show up. But a simple redesign, sometimes it's very simple, sometimes it's more complicated, can keep the network performing the way that it was performing when you bought it and when you got it installed. If you don't do that, sometimes that downtime and the challenges and the headache that come from it can be pretty significant. So NetCare Plus Onsite Audits allows us to come out, take a look at the mine frequently, and give you some ideas and some recommendations on what we should be doing to redesign and redeploy that network to make sure that it continues to perform the way that it was meant to from the beginning. And finally, the embedded resources option. Embedded resources we've been doing for several customers for several years now. Basically, we're sending one of our staff out to work with your staff on site and for a long period of time. Some of our customers have used embedded resources for over a year, and just to help them with their the on-site monitoring and management of the network. Others have used our staff and our resources for a shorter period of time, primarily as a training method. The problem is when you're working on one network, you learn only what that one network can show you. Some of our guys have seen hundreds of networks, and they've got a lot of experience. They know what to look for. They've seen a lot of things. And that knowledge is what we call tribal knowledge within the company. It can be very beneficial, and we want to bring that to you through the embedded resource. So that's available to you now. Finally, the last level is really not a services offering, but more of a network offering. That's our network as a service offering that we've just begun to bring into the market recently. Through network as a service, what we're doing is 3DP is providing you a fully spec'd and functional network that 3DP owns and manages. And you're accessing that network as a service. So instead of the big capital up front to get the network up and running, we handle that. And it's more of an operating expense month over month to be able to access that network. It makes it a lot easier when you got some augmentation or something new that you want to do on the network. Instead of another major capital outlay, we can manage that by a slight lift in the services charge, and you get your network running to support the new applications that you might be wanting to bring in. So it starts the same way as a regular network does. It's a lot of scoping and a lot of speccing out exactly what your needs are. Costs of the deployment and are handled quite differently in that we'll be providing that to you as a service. So there's several new things that are coming from 3DP, and we're excited to be able to talk to you about them. Looking forward to talking to you. Give us a shout, and we can tell you a little bit more about NetCare Plus or Network as a Service. Thanks much. Have a good day.